Hello, all my crafty people. Rachel here from the Lone Star Crafter. Today I am coming at you with a brand new series. I'm going to be calling it WIP It Good 2021. And so in this series, what I'm going to be doing is basically finishing all of my outstanding sewing projects. Most of them are quilts that just need to be finished up. So I have a garment in here. There's some bags. There's a machine embroidery project and things like that. And so I know every year, every New Year's, we tell ourselves, this is the year I'm going to finish all my projects. I'm going to finish all my paper crafts or sewing projects or quilts or something like that. And it just never gets done. So for me, last year, 2020, and for a lot of people, they were in a sewing funk or a creative funk. It was either you were extremely creative because you were stuck at home, or because you were stuck at home, you felt like you had no creativity whatsoever. And I was definitely in the latter group. For the first I was only home for 6 weeks, and then my company ended up being called essential. And so I just had a really hard time feeling the creative juices. I did do a lot of Christmas sewing. I made tons of Christmas stockings and quick projects like pillowcases and tea towels and things like that. But I never really got around to any of my outstanding WIPs or works in progress. And so this year, I really want to get them done. It's 2021, we're going to get it done. That's my mantra for this year. And so in this first video in this series, what I'm going to be doing is going over every single project and showing you guys where I'm at in it and kind of going over the steps I need to take in order to finish it off. I will be talking about if I need extra fabric to go along with it, just sort of to keep myself accountable and just to bring you guys on this journey with me. That way, in case you have projects that you need to finish up, I hope that you guys will really find this inspiring. And I am going to try and do 2 different shots, an above shot and a front shot. We'll see how it goes. If you only see one shot, then I had no idea what I was doing. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and move some things off of my table here, and alrighty guys, so the first thing I'm gonna show you is this this turtle quilt one, because it's kind of noisy, and 2, it takes up a lot of space. So this is an art quilt that I'm working on. My grandmother asked me to make a turtle quilt for a coworker of hers who was retiring. And so I wanted to kind of experiment a little bit with a new type of quilting. I've never done an art quilt before, and I kind of just like figuring things out as I go. I started this in September, October sometime. And then we knew we were going to move, or we upped the timeline of when we were moving, and end of year stuff. So this has kind of been put on the back burner, but this is probably my #1 priority project to finish. Here I have a bunch of little scraps. These are some scraps that I've already cut up, ready to go. This is going to be the background. On the front, it's going to be a wall hanging, so it's not super duper big. This will be the background fabric. And then here's a bunch of more fabric to go along with it. So you can see, it's all batiks, because it has that kind of watercolor look to it. Here's some blender stuff, things like that. Lots of blues and greens. And so I just kind of wanted to make a collage style art quilt. I went through several stages on how to get this going. I've been to a couple of workshops where they talk about the best way to do an art quilt, and I kind of just did my own way. And so basically I'm just gluing fabric onto several pieces of paper that I had put together. So probably not the best method, but it's an experiment. So that would be probably my first priority quilt. It definitely has several stages left to go for it. So one, I would need to finish gluing all the fabric scraps onto the turtle itself. Then I have to sew the turtle onto the background fabric that I showed you. And then I would need to quilt all 3 layers. I don't know if I want to put another little turtle on there or not. Kind of depends on time. Time frame, I want to finish it by March 1st. I would say that would probably be my number 1 priority, would be March 1st. And so I'm actually going to take notes on this because it's always good to keep yourself on schedule. Alrighty, and so let's see I'm just going to grab things near me. I'm not going to really worry about when I started these things. I'm not going to go in any particular order. So the next one I have is a autumn project. I started this 2019, at the end of 2019. I purchased Lori Holt's spelling bee book. And so I wanted to do a table runner that said, give thanks. And so I have a bunch of, or does it say Thanksgiving? What does it say? Why would I? Grateful. Thankful and grateful. That's what it's going to say. So I have a bunch of the blocks. I think I have all the blocks made up already. I just also, one of the problems with this is that I used her layer cake, her autumn layer cake, and so I think the fabrics are just a little too matchy. Sometimes it's hard to tell what the letters are supposed to be. You know, I tried to be as contrasting as possible. I guess you can read it. I was afraid that some of these were hard to read. There's an H. But it came out. So I did thankful and grateful. So I have all the letters kind of pieced together here, as you can tell. The thing is, I also wanted to put a turkey block in the middle of this, or, I needed to add some other fabric to it around the words and things like that. And so I got all the letters done, and then it just kind of fell off. And so it is something I want to finish before Thanksgiving. It would be nice to have a table runner. Hopefully we have a dining room table at that time. So basically, I don't think I need any other fabric to go along with this. I pretty much have browns and oranges and things like that already in my stash. So I shouldn't need any more fabric for this. I should be able to I'm just going to put fabric around thankful and grateful and make a giant table topper and do one solid piece of fabric for the backing. I'm not going to worry about a turkey block. And just, sometimes you just got to streamline your projects. I'm the kind of person that I take a bigger bite than I can chew, essentially. So there's all the pieces for that. And so that would probably, like I said, I want to finish that before. Let me grab something else that's also kind of really super duper close to being done. This is a tree skirt that I had started for my coworker, friend of mine. Let's see if I can. It's kind of all basted. It's basted and ready to be quilted together. So it's kind of a star shape. I'll post a picture of the one I finished for myself last year. And this is going to be the same idea, except it's just going to have different fabric with it. So that I would want to finish by October, because her birthday's in October. Even though it's technically a Christmas project, I started this last year. 2019. Sorry, we're in 2021 now. So I started this in 2019, hoping to finish it for the last Christmas 2020. And, you know, again, we were moving, and so there was lots of things going on. Didn't get a chance to finish it, and so I would like to finish it for her birthday. So that would be October. So tree skirt, October. Okay, so there's that. That one, literally all I have to do is stitch around the edge, cut off the excess fabric, flip it inside out, and then basically do top stitching throughout the tree skirt to kind of tack it down. I'm going to be using some really pretty decorative threads. So I don't need any more fabric for this project. I already have the elastic I'm going to use so that you can put elastic on one edge, and because it's going to be open tree skirt, and so there's going to be elastic on one edge. Sew some buttons on, which I already have buttons, and I have the thread. So I don't actually need any more supplies on this. I just need to get this done. So that would be a pretty quick, easy one. This would be good if I don't feel like a good project to work on when I don't want to have to think too much and I just want to kind of get it done. So I have that one available to me. And when I rearrange all the projects here on the shelf, that's how I'm going to arrange them. I'm going to have ones that are like, one shelf is going to be like, why haven't you finished this yet? You're almost there, kind of stuff. Like quick 30 minutes, maybe to 2 hours of just get it done. Then there's going to be like, it's going to take a couple more days, but you're almost there. You're at least halfway through. And then there's going to be, you have quite a bit more work you need to do on this kind of shelf. And then the last type of project I have is, I haven't even started it yet. So speaking of those kinds of projects, I have this fabric here, some Christmas fabric. So this is really cute. This is going to be another tree skirt for my mother-in-law. She came into my store and bought a bunch of fabric and wanted me to make her a double-sided tree skirt with this. So at this point in time, I haven't even started it. I have the fabric. This is going to be one side. This is going to be the other. And then I'll probably make, maybe there's a lot of fabric here, so I'll probably end up using any remaining fabric for maybe a pillowcase, like an envelope style pillowcase, or maybe even a regular standard pillowcase. This one's really cute because we all, my husband, his two sisters, and my mother-in-law all went to London the year that my husband actually proposed to me. So I really like that fabric. So, maybe a Christmas stocking. A Christmas stocking would be cute. And this one's fun because it's more woodland style, not really Christmas specific. So she picked those out. So that's one of those projects that I haven't even started yet. And so that'll be on the shelf that I need to get going on it. Let's see. Here's another quick project. These are my husband's pajama pants, and basically they're too long. And so literally all I have to do is hem them. They're foxes. So that's like literally a 10-minute project. I just need to measure how short he wants them to be. So that's a quick one. This one is another project for my mother-in-law. She came into my work and bought a bunch of fabric. She doesn't sew herself. And so she wanted me to do a bunch of different fun projects for her. This is a fall wall hanging. So that's one side. And then the other side says thankful and grateful. And so basically all I'm doing is quilting these. I'm doing some sort of leafy designs here. So I have I have two fully quilted. All four of these are going to be the exact same on both sides. Two of them are already quilted. One is partially quilted. And then one I just need to basically sandwich together and quilt it up. So, and then I would have to put the binding on there. I don't know if I need any fabric for binding. I'm not sure what colors I would use. Probably something in this red tone. So that's sort of like I'm a halfway there sort of project, and I do have batting for it, things like that. Let's see, this one, this is something I'm hand quilting. This quilt top, I forget which pattern I was trying to do. It was a free pattern, I believe from Susie Quilts or something like that. And I had started it at work, so I was working on a different sewing machine than I normally use at home. And the blocks just came out really horrible. Like, it was probably some of my worst quilting ever. And so I just kind of ended up slapping things together. And so I'm going to end up hand quilting it, because that way I can use some fun decorative threads and just kind of focus on practicing some hand quilting. So I've got some Wonderfill threads in there, kind of sparkly. So this I'm not too worried about finishing. It's for myself, so I don't even know if it's something I want to finish this year, but it's something I want to work on every week. I want to practice some hand quilting. Hand quilting is really nice if you want to be able to like sit on the couch, hang out, watch TV, but also kind of be doing something with your hands. So that is a nice little kind of like no pressure type of project that I'm excited to work on. So next, this is a project I started three years ago at least. And it started off simple enough, but you know how it goes. Can never keep it simple. These were some granny square. I found the granny square block pattern. It was free. I really liked it. I loved how you pieced it row by row and then you cut it on a diagonal. I had a bunch of fat quarters that a friend of mine who works in the fabric industry had given to me. And then I had a coworker who wanted me to make them a quilt, and I was like, well, I have this quilt that I started, but it was taking me so long. They're like, never mind, and I ended up not working there anymore. And so like it just grew and grew and grew and grew, because initially I was just going to use whatever fat quarters I had, and then I was going to make it into a quilt for somebody else. And so then it was like I needed it to be a king size, so I needed more blocks, and it just turned into a whole thing. And so I have all these blocks. I really just need to piece them together. I just need to trim these down, piece them together, put a backing on it, quilt it, and be done. I don't even think I'm going to free motion quilt this. This would be something I would just straight line quilt. So I don't even think I'm going to make any more blocks. I don't care. I don't know. I'm just going to trim what I have here. Trim what I have, piece it together, and like call it an end of the day. Like, see, look, I don't even remember where I left off on this. Like, look, I was adding extra fabric. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? Why do I have so much fat? Oh my God, what was I thinking? Look at all these squares. I've cut so many squares with this. I'm a crazy person. Oh my gosh, there's so much fabric in here. How many more blocks was I planning to make? Like, this is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Look at this. There's like 200 squares in here. It's not going to be priority number one, that's for sure. Here's another really quick one. This is a little Halloween trick-or-treat bag I made. Literally the only thing I have to do is close it. Is top stitch around it. I just haven't done it because again, I don't have any intention for it. I was going to try, and sell these on in my Etsy shop, and I just never sewed enough stuff for like stock or inventory for my Etsy. So that is definitely a low priority, because I'm going to worry about finishing projects for other people before I start worrying about my Etsy store again. But I do kind of want to get that up and running. So next, I have this sew sampler. This is the sew sampler. This is the sew sampler from 2019. Yes, 2019, or summer sampler, I think it was. I believe it was called. And I can't remember how many blocks there are total in this thing, but I'm in the middle of number 4, and I'm pretty sure there was like 16, or at least 20, actually, 20 of these guys. I have all the fabric for the blocks in the background. I can't remember if I have the backing fabric too. I think I might have the backing fabric for this. This was, so the summer sampler, the whole deal with that was that every month or every week you would work on a different style block that focused on a different type of sewing technique or quilting technique. So how to piece your block differently, things like that. And so I think it was just the pressure of having to finish it every single week. I mean, the blocks that I did finish came out really good. I mean, I think that's my background fabric. That's really pretty. I like that. Hopefully I can remember, because of course I changed the colors. Can't follow a pattern, true. So I'll have to remember which colors which. I mean, the ones that I did finish came out really nice. Like that. So many teeny tiny half square triangles, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think it came out really great. But this took forever. This was fun. This was an improv quilt. This was probably my favorite one, and I loved using all the bold colors. And then this one, I love doing the tiny little squares. So this was great. A great practice if you want to kind of build on your quilts block piecing skills, but definitely very, very time consuming. So again, this is for me, like not for me, but it's not for anyone else per se. So I don't really have a designated timeline on it. I would like to work on a block a month. So that's the standard I'm going to hold myself to on this one, just because I would like to actually get a Christmas quilt. Let me see. This is a pattern by Gingerbread. I had actually found this panel at a local quilt shop, and they happened to have the pattern to go along with it. And it's really cute. I have the panels cut up, and I have the background fabric all cut and ready to go. The only thing is, with this particular pattern, for all these little triangles and things like that, you have to print off foundation paper, and so she wants you to foundation paper piece it. And it's an extra step. Look how cute. This was a little block I had done a long time ago. Look how cute. He's so cute, little Santa. And so it's just the right size to fit in with these things. Okay. So basically all I have to do is print off the paper, print off the FPP paper, print off the shape, sew the little triangles, and then back it and quilt it, and then it's done. And it's just a matter of like piecing out the paper or printing out the papers. Stuff like, that annoys me. I hate when there's extra. I wish it would have been included in the pattern. I would have been done with it already. So this is a Christmas project. I like to make a Christmas quilt every year, or at least start it. I love the idea of home sewing all my Christmas decorations and decor as much as possible, you know. So I do actually want to finish that this year. I started it 2018, 2017. I bought the fabric and the panel, or I bought the panel and the pattern in 2017. And some of that fabric I've had since I started sewing in 2014, 2015. So I definitely need to get going on it. So, Gingerbread Christmas by Christmas. I am going to hold myself to finishing that one this year just because it's so outstanding. Okay, this next one is not a quilt per se, but it's one of those pre-printed fabric panels, project panels, and you make a really cute little dollhouse with all these little dolls. And so I thought it was just so stinking cute. This was something I had wanted to sew together and have for my Etsy store. And, you know, you have to back a lot of these pieces with interfacing and things like that. I don't have any stuffing or anything for it. Look at this little cat. Look at the little kitty cat. It's so cute. So it's really cute. The directions are printed on it, which are nice. There's just a lot of steps to this. And so I have all the fabric for it because all the fabric came with the panel itself. The only thing I need is polyfill, and I have everything else. So I have all the interfacing to go along with it, and I have started it a bit. So I have that. So you sew on fabric to make like these little curtains and things like that. I just think that's so cute. I think any little girl who would like that. This is something I would have liked as a girl. I wasn't big into dolls, but I did love stuffed animals. And so I think I'm pretty sure I had like a fabric style dollhouse when I was a kid. And I loved it because I liked being able to put my big stuffed animals in it. I wasn't too big into Barbie. I had some Barbies, of course, just because, you know, it was the 90s. And so I want to finish this by summer because by, I think, June or July, I really want to have my Etsy shop kind of up and running a little bit better with some stuff in there. I think definitely by Black Friday, I would like to have some new inventory in there for people, you know, so if people want a Christmas shop and want to buy, you know, homemade gifts, I want to give them that opportunity. Because I love sewing, but I can't keep all this stuff. I like trying out new different techniques. I like, you know, working on various projects and things like that. It's just, you know, I don't have kids for one, so it's not like I have a kid I can give this to. Although my friends are pregnant. They're going to be having a daughter. Maybe I could give it to her. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this, but this is something I would like to finish this year. That is something I do want to finish this year. Like I said, I think probably around July. So dollhouse, July. I started that in 2019. So everything here is old, very old. This big bag of stuff. These are just t-shirts. These are all my old t-shirts. When I first got into quilting, I really wanted to make myself a t-shirt quilt. And I definitely have plenty of t-shirts, that's for sure. No shortage on that end. Some of these are cut out already. I literally started this when I first got into sewing. So it's been what? 7 years now? I've been sewing for 7 years and I've had a bunch of these cut out for 7 years. A lot of them are college shirts. There's a high school shirt. I mean, it's mostly like stuff from college. A lot of band t-shirts and things like that. So, a problem with that is that I kept adding t-shirts to the pile of stuff to cut out and things like that. And so I'm just gonna, whatever's in that bag, that's what I'm gonna do for the quilt. So for the front and the back, it'll be t-shirts. The problem is when you work with t-shirts, you generally have to put interfacing on them. So that way it kind of stiffens up the knit a little bit. So I think, I don't know when I want to finish that. I just want to work on it. I want to work on it at least once a month. A t-shirt. Once a month. Actually, I'm going to say once a week. So I'm going to interface at least one square or something like that. So I don't know. Okay, so this is some faux leather. And then I have some Rifle Paper Company fabric. It's really pretty. Has metallics in it. I have a blue. And then I have a white. It is just so gorgeous. I want to make a bag out of this. I even have the purse hardware. And I had a pattern in mind, but then it was like it wasn't good enough kind of thing. And so I just put it off until I could find the right pattern. And then I had to wait until I could buy the pattern. So I think I know what style. I want to do like a big, like oversized purse for like travel and stuff like that. I don't know what pattern I want to do yet, but I definitely want to get this. I don't know. I haven't even started this yet, so I just want to research bag patterns for now. This is going to stay on the WIP shelves, on the shelves, because I want to keep it out. I really kind of want to get it going this year. I think I bought the fabric in 2018. I've had it for a really long time, and I've yet to make myself a bag. And I really need a new bag. And, you know, buying them from Ross or wherever is just, it's not as fun. And, you know, I can't spend $150, $300 on a designer bag. I just can't do it. I'm not that person. So I want to make my own bag. Oh, this goes with something else. I'm going to put that aside for now. Okay, this is the most... This is a dress I started, I think, 2.5 years ago. The only thing I need to do with this thing at this point in time is put an invisible zipper in. That's it. I don't know. Like, what am I waiting for? I'm like so nervous about putting a zipper in. I'm like, what if I ruin this dress, this and that? I mean, so there's the bodice. So it has the straps. It fits great so far. I don't know why I'm so nervous. There's pockets in it, of course. You gotta have the pockets. So basically, all I have to do is put the zipper in and hem it, and like, it's done. And it's this really beautiful fabric. I got it at Joann's. It's so lightweight and comfy. It's a great summer dress. I just need to finish this. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm like so nervous about it. Has a bodice lining and everything. I mean, I did this by myself, and I'm really proud of how far I got. All I needed to do was put the zipper in, and I'm just like, I'm so nervous about doing it, because I'm really bad at regular zippers, and everyone says, you know, I've heard some people go like, oh, invisible zippers, they're so hard, and that made me nervous, and I just gotta do it. I gotta stop being a chicken, and that's it. That's literally all I have to do with it. Let's see, what pattern is it? Do I have the pattern envelope in here? Yeah, so this is Simplicity 1800 B, and I'm doing the one that she's wearing. So View C, and it's nice because it has plus sizes in it. And I mean, that's a great silhouette for someone my size, especially since I'm taller, and then wearing this with wedges would be really cute. So I just want to finish it. I just really need to finish it. I'm so bad with garment sewing. I just get so nervous about it because I've never taken the garment sewing class, and so I feel like I don't know what I'm doing until I take a class. But at the same time, I got that far on that dress, so I don't know what I'm freaking out about. Okay, so what is this? That's a bunch of batting. Don't need that. Oh, it goes with this. Okie dokie. So this was the Traffic Jam Sewalong with Pat Sloan. She had like a free scrappy use your scraps pattern over the summer. So this was like one of the few projects I started and finished this year, at least the top. And it came out really stinking cute. I had so many different rainbow scraps. I had these, I had all these solid colors, and so I made the borders in these rainbows, and I did from skinny to fat and then fat to skinny. I love that. And it has tons of tulip pink and lots of rainbow colors in it. Oh, it's just really pretty. And so all I have to do is quilt it, really. Baste it and quilt it. I have this wide back rainbow fabric that I got years ago. And initially I was going to save this for a different project. But I have so much of it, I feel like I could easily do the traffic jam quilt. Just get it quilted. You can see here. It's really pretty. It's an ombre rainbow, and I just love it. It's huge. And then, so this is a bunch of the remaining, this is a bunch of the remaining blocks and pieces. I was going to make 2 of the traffic jam quilts, and then I set a bunch of the squares. It's just 4 patches. So nothing crazy. I mean, it's really easy, especially if you just do rope. I had the tulip pink, what's it called? What is this, like confetti or something? Fairy dust. I had the white background fairy dust. And the way I had pieced the backgrounds on this was a different fabric than I did for the second one. Oh, I was going to add more blocks to this first quilt top. That's what was going to happen. And then I did it wrong. I put the fairy dust on the corners when the fairy dust on the other one was something else. So I was like, okay, I'll just do a second quilt top. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. This is one of the borders too. I mean, it uses a lot of scraps. It is a great way to kind of get through a bunch of your stash, a bunch of scraps. So that, again, no rush on this. It is something I would like to clear out before I start anything new though. And I'll put a link down below to the free pattern. It's a free pattern from Pat Sloan. I really like her. She's a really inspiring quilter. She has a YouTube channel. I think she does like daily videos or something crazy. And she has a lot of free patterns and free sew-alongs and things of that nature. So especially if you're a beginner, she's a great person to follow. She does a lot of scrappy stuff too, which I like. I like the look of scrappy. Let me see if I can fold this. Oh, God. Okay, I'm just gonna go right there. I'll have to fold it after the video. Okay, so let's see. Did that. Oh, geez. Here's one. Here's another old one. This is a blanket that my husband's had forever, and the binding started coming off of it. And so initially I was going to pick all the stitches out and then rebind it for him. But trying to pick out the rest of these stitches is so difficult. It's like a super fluffy fleece. It's really comfy and soft. So I think at this point, I'm just going to re-sew it on. I'm going to do the lazy man. I don't know even, I can't, it's like a knit. It's a knit binding fabric. So it is like the most obnoxious material to work with, especially for a binding on a really thick fleece like this. So I need to get that finished. I really need to get this finished. It was in my sewing closet for like 2 years, just sitting there. So I'm just going to stitch it on. I'm not even going to worry about it looking good. So this, I would like to finish this month. I just want to get it out of here. It takes up so much room, and it'd be so much better like as a nice blanket on our couch. And I'm sure he would appreciate me finishing it as well. Okay, what's next? What do I have next? This is a machine embroidery project I started. This is the Kimberbell Twilight Boulevard bench pillow. And I got all the fabric cut out, and I got the kit that goes with it. Like you get like all the extra embellishments. You can order the kit. I thought all the vinyl and like the mylar and stuff like that was already pre-cut in this embellishment kit, and it's not, which is really annoying to me. I'm like, the kit was maybe like $30-$40. And I also have, so now I have to cut that out too in the shapes they say. And it's just really annoying because there's so many different tiny little pieces of the fabric that you had to cut out for this project. And it really annoys me that you're going to provide an embellishment kit and it's not, the pieces in it are not going to be pre-cut already for you. So that really irks me about it. So I just kind of fell off the wagon. This I just want to finish by Halloween. It's just a decoration. But the thing is, it's a machine embroidery thing. So I can't use I won't be able, I have to do it on my Janome. And so if I need to do any sewing or quilting on the Janome, I won't be able to if that's going. So I might just wait until October to kind of pull it back out, get in the Halloween mood and everything like that with it. So, what was that? Kimberbell. Halloween. So there's that. And what else? I think I'm actually, I don't know if I'm going to worry about this year. This is a bunch of crochet stuff I'd gotten into. I was like, I want to get back into crochet, and I suck at it. Like, I'm not as good as I once was. If you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. So this is the start of a gnome. It really hurts my hands now. I don't know, I guess I'm getting old. But yeah, I had gotten some yarn, so I don't know if I'm going to worry about that. That's just in there. This I want to finish this year, I think. This is a quilt for a friend of mine. She asked me to make her and her husband a quilt. Of course, it has to be a king size. I don't know why I agreed to these things. So there's a pattern, and of course I made it an original pattern, so it's extra difficult. So I may just scrap my own pattern. I might just find a pattern and do it, because this is getting ridiculous. I need to just finish it. I had made another king size quilt for some friend of ours, and it took me 3 years to finish it because I made my own pattern. I had to figure out the math, and I'm not good with that. And so I'm gonna scrap my pattern and find a free pattern online. And I'm doing batiks, which is really pretty. And I wanted it to be more neutral, more earth tone based, because this is for her and her husband. So I didn't want to do anything too girly girl. So I started cutting the fabric. I pieced together some of the blocks. And so I'm just gonna scrap my design and do something different. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. The last two things I have to show you guys are projects that I haven't even started yet. So I'm not going to worry about these guys too much. This one is the Mini Pumpkins pattern by Cluck Cluck Sew. Really cute. And I like it because it's small. You can do pre-cuts. I have a bunch of the fabric already picked out. I love pumpkins. I think pumpkins are my favorite part of fall. I love I don't really generally like orange any other time of the year, but during fall, I'm like all about the orange. So I might pull that out at Halloween time and just have working on it. If I don't finish it this Halloween, I'm not too upset about it. And then this one, this I've had for a while. I really love Frida Kahlo. She's one of my favorite artists. I did a lot of research about her, and I wrote some essays about her in college. I did study art history, so I love her work. I love her colors. I love that she celebrates her heritage, both of her heritages. She's Mexican and German. And so I bought this fabric. I actually got in London when I was there 2 years ago. So and then I had bought this panel previously before that. So I've had this fabric probably for 3 or 4 years at this point in time. And this is a quilt. My intention behind making this quilt is it's going to be the first quilt I ever submit to a juried show. And so I want it to be really well done. But I think I have a plan sketched out for it already. So, and then I can't remember if these went with it or not. Oh, this fabric. I think the birds go with it. I believe this is Alexander Henry. Yes, Alexander Henry. So depending on whatever pattern I drew up, I don't know if I have enough fabric for this project, but I should. Initially, I was going to make it king size, but I might just settle for a queen. I need to make smaller stuff. King size is a lot of work. I love the macaws. Aren't they so cute? I love macaws. They're so much fun. But this would be an easy quilt to get extra fabric for. So I'm not too worried about that aspect of it. All right, so, and then there are some other colors with it. Some pinks and things like that. And, okay, let's see. And that's it. So, thank you for joining me for this Whip It Good 2021. If you guys have some outstanding sewing projects or any other crafting projects, maybe it's paper crafts or something like that, feel free to join me along this journey. I think a really great way is to pull them all out, go through what you have, what you might need for them, and then sort of set yourself some timelines. For me, I'm really focusing on things I'm making for other people. Anything for myself, I can kind of put on the back burner. Or if it's seasonal, I'm not going to worry about it too much right now at the beginning of the year, but I'll try and focus more on it around that season. So I'm going to continue making videos and showing you my progress on all these WIPs, and hopefully I can make a good dent in them this year in 2021. I have promised myself I'm not going to buy any fabric, and I'm not going to buy any new patterns. I'm not going to join any sew-alongs or anything like that until I finish at least all the projects for other people this year. So if you guys like this video and you want to see more in this series, feel free to like and subscribe. And, if you have any projects that you're working on, feel free to share them down below. I'd love to see pictures and see your progress as we go along. Alrighty guys, have a crafty day.